You know, before I purchased Limit, I did read a few reviews, although I didn't really need to read them. I played the demo myself and I knew this game is for me. Now, I was aware of the bad reviews and different opinions, negative opinions about the game, but I didn't care. I had a feeling that I'm gonna enjoy the game. And oh boy, I enjoyed it. This became one of my favorite Souls-like game I've ever played. And I played quite a lot of them. I mean, 2 months ago I finished Bloodborne, and a few weeks ago I finished Sekiro Shadows Die twice. Elden Ring, by the way, was my first Souls game. And after that I play a lot of them because I just enjoy this type of game so much. But you see, sometimes less is more, and I think it works so well for this game, especially those people who really love playing Souls game, or maybe even if it's their first Soul games ever, we find this game to be much more accessible. Indeed, it is on the easier side of things, but I'm pretty sure that for many players it will provide some good challenge. At least let's say some of the bosses in this game. And some of the bosses in this game are so well designed. They are far from being, let's say, beautiful as far from it, yeah, like if you compare to Bloodborne or some of the bosses in Elden Ring. But it just shows me that this is not the most important thing. I'm not saying it's not important, but not the most important thing, because if you nail the mechanics right and provide some good challenge, people will enjoy playing the game. Now, I think people look at Souls-like game with a very big magnifying glass because they immediately compare them to From Software games, and not a lot were kind of get to the point where people consider them, close to some of From Software game, or sometimes even surpass some of these games. Lies of P, I think, is one of these exceptions. It was a terrific game. I was actually surprised how good it was. It's actually getting DLC soon, and can't wait for the second chapter of this amazing Souls-like game. You see, this game follows what some people call Souls-Lite, a Souls game that is kind of less extensive, less comprehensive, and more like a game that you can finish relatively fast. It's not super challenging, but still carries some of the mechanics that, of course, Souls games are known for. But they did innovate and brought the sync meter, which I think is an amazing idea that actually encourages the player to be aggressive against bosses, to keep the damage high and be able to use different utilities like spells. There are not a lot of weapons, but they do feel different, and each one of them felt amazing to use. Regarding the level design itself, I think it's incredible. People worry about exploration. Trust me, there are some things that are hidden from players, and when you're discovering them, it's just a joy. Not that I expect a lot when it comes to exploration in Souls games, especially if they're kind of linear, but they design it very good. I mean, I missed quite a few things. I did New Game Plus and then discovered them again without reading any guides. But in terms of overall, let's say, visual fidelity, if you call it like that, yeah, it is lacking, no doubt about it. Not that it was something that bothered me that much, because I still like the overall kind of gloomy feeling of the world, and actually I think that the beautiful visual effects really shine when there is a good contrast between the visual effects, the characters, and the world. But no doubt that it can be done better. We've seen games that just look insane, like for example Black Myth Wukong. Like, this was like insanely beautiful world. I was just stunned how good it looks. But does it mean that a game like that, with this time of some people call negatives, I don't consider that a big negative, is this something that ruins the experience? The answer is no. Again, because the thing is that the visuals themselves are not the thing that makes this type of game so much fun. Because at the end of the day, it boils down to the boss fights, and when the design is good, even if the boss doesn't look great, let's say it like that, you're gonna enjoy and have fun playing it. There's a learning curve, of course, especially for new players, but it's very satisfying defeating bosses. And overall, I really like the design, the anime style of the characters. I think the mechanics are really tight and clicks very well, so they feel really fun fighting in this game. So all these comparison against so many other, I mean, they're legit, it's okay to compare, nothing wrong about that, but it doesn't matter what you say in this comparison, and I am aware, of course, of the advantages of some other Souls game have over this game. It didn't take away from the amazing fun I had playing the game. I repeat, it didn't take away from it. I just had fun, bottom line. If I jump into a new cycle, almost starting my third, basically New Game Plus, it's called New Cycle in this game, This means that they definitely did something right. And that I felt immediately in the demo when I fought in combat. It just felt great fighting in this game. So even if they even reduce it to even something smaller than that, I would still have fun just fighting even one boss in the arena because the mechanics felt so great for me. Now, for those who are new to Souls-like game, I actually think this is a great game to have. Again, some people call it Souls-Lite, and I agree, we need these type of games. Not every game needs to be very comprehensive and takes hundreds of hours to complete. Some games are really fun when they are more confined. Actually, some players would prefer taking that game than maybe what other will consider, or at least based on reviews, a better game that is might take more time or maybe harder or more comprehensive, because this just might fit the bill for many players who are searching to play a Souls-like game, but they don't want something that is as big, for example, as Elden Ring. And let's not forget that it also boils down to price. This is like half the price of another Souls-like game that was released alongside it, which is the first Berserker, Kazan, which I played it, by the way, and actually based on the demo I decided to play this one first because I just enjoyed more than my experience with Kazan. Another thing is that, for example, you can choose whatever you like. You use parry, for example. I really like parrying in this game. It's very forgiving. You can dash, you can use a shield, for example. There are many ways for you to kind of experiment with things and adapt it to your playstyle rather than the game giving you very straight, kind of restricted way to approach a fight. Like really making it more rhythmic, for example, and rely highly on parry like Sekiro does. So basically, many people will find their own way to enjoy playing this game, and that's why I think that some players who in other Souls games they'll be more restricted might get frustrated. Here you can change, you can choose one way that best fits your playstyle, and I'm pretty sure because of that more people will actually enjoy the game and get to finish the game. So the aspect of for different utility works very well here. So yeah, the RPG elements here are very limited. You don't have tons of items, but what you have is enough. Actually, the game encourages you to try different items rather than staying with one, which is just better than everything else, which is really fun because you get to experiment more. Same goes to weapons. There are some side quests, but again, not a lot of side quests, so it's very easy to follow, especially if you're following guides. Also, checkpoints are very close to bosses, and for example, when you respec, you can see your previous respec. All these little quality of life changes just make it, this game kind of not waste your time basically, and give you really high quality time if you want to play a Souls-like game. They definitely learn by seeing what other developers are doing and try to make the best to give you a great experience overall. It does feel less cryptic compared to, for example, Bloodborne, and definitely see this in the dialogue. It's more kind of, let's say, user-friendly when it comes to exposing NPCs' personalities rather than keeping them cryptic, and sometimes you have no idea actually what they're saying or what they're actually there for. So it feels more inviting overall, I would say. I also really like the fact that it felt less rhythmic. I mean, after playing Sekiro, I can tell you that I didn't find it that hard, because it just was kind of a clicking with the timing of all the combos. And when it clicked, I found Sekiro to be much easier than I expected it to be. Of course, I had some challenges, no doubt about it, but it was much easier than I expected. I actually didn't expect to finish this game at all after hearing so many things about how difficult it is. But here it's not like that. It's not like it gives you more opportunities to kind of be free in the combat and have some really ways to play it in your own way rather than trying to just learn the fight, adjust to the combo rhythm. So in that aspect it felt better. Now I do have to admit that Bloodborne captivated me with the world, with the Victorian era inspired city of Yharnam. It was just beautiful. I mean, really just captivate me totally. There's nothing close to it in this game. So there's something about navigating this Bloodborne's atmospheric world, really stunning detailed gothic environments with kind of constant sense of danger, depth and madness lurking around every corner. People wait for a From Software game, they wanted something similar to that, or a sequel, let's say, like that brings the same great vibes that they felt when they played Bloodborne for the first time. So I really tried to understand why I'm actually enjoying this game so much, and I think it boils down to the great mechanics, the introduction of an innovative mechanic of the sync meter. sync rate bar. I think that also the game really respect my time as a player, and it also doesn't overwhelm me. But I can say that right now, after finishing Sekiro, I didn't want really a very comprehensive Souls-like. I wanted something more compact, and that's where, again, put in a quotation, a Souls-Lite game was actually a perfect fit for me at this particular time. So this is also because some people, they're not ready to take on a great hard difficulty game, and something needs to come at the right time. So the timing is also important, and it was really a great time for me to experience this type of game. Also, that there's no farming involved in this game. In some Souls game, you might want to farm certain bosses for certain materials and weapon drops or something random. Here, it's not like that. You are guaranteed if you go to a specific place or beat a specific boss to get certain items. There's not like RNG, and I think it just makes things more simple to players. Again, more accessible. You basically, you spend less time with the game playing with you, and you actually playing the game. Now, I also think one of the evidence for that is that lots of people have reaching certain points in the game, like finishing the game, finishing what is kind of considered a hard boss, finishing certain endings, and basically exploring the area to find some collectibles that require time and effort, or looking into guides. So it shows that people are investing in the game and actually completing certain objectives that, by high numbers relative to those who are actually playing the game. Yeah, so these are just a few things that I think that what makes the game such a good one, that made me enjoy this game personally, and I think this will have a great appeal for many other players who will just think very similar to what I think about this game. So regardless of the negative reviews out there, I still think this game is going to be very popular, and those who actually maybe thought twice if to get it and will play it, they will get surprised how actually good it is, regardless of the negative reviews that I mentioned. I'm not saying that some of the negative things that reviewers said about the game aren't true. I'm just saying the game will surprise you for the better relative to the negative things, the harsh things that some reviewers have mentioned about this game. Although again, of course I understand that some people have their own opinion about this game, and some people think that it's a terrible game. Fine, everybody have their own opinion. But I have to admit that it surprised me for the good, for the better, by far compared to what I've read on other reviews. Thanks for watching.